Hi, I'm Carla and I have Liz here in studio, and this tutorial is for Anjaneyasana. Anjaneyasana is the crescent moon pose. It's not a pose I've come across often in an Iyengar practice. However, it's a pose that you do pretty much all the time when you're lunging forward or lunging back. You're working the mobility in the hips, the flexibility of the legs, the mobility and the strength in the knee joints. You're working all of that, which is essential for going in and out of some poses like downward dog, also great for poses like Virabhadrasana I. And it's a wonderful preparatory pose for splits and for poses like Virabhadrasana or Parivrita Virabhadrasana. So Anjaneyasana, the crescent moon lunge. We're going to come to stand at the front of the mat. And it's easier to lunge back than it is to lunge forward. So taking your fingertips on the floor. If you're doing Ardha Uttanasana, it's the first pose for the morning. You can keep the feet hip distance apart. If you don't have the flexibility to get your fingertips to the floor, then please take a set of bricks, especially if you are rounding your back to try and get to the floor. If you're unable to extend the legs and extend the spine, then take some bricks to get that full extension. Step the right foot back, coming to a lunge. You can take the knee to the floor. Taking the knee to the floor, turning the toe under. This gives you a little bit of stability. If you have any knee injuries whatsoever, then you take a blanket underneath that knee, underneath the entire shin if you need, just to support that limb. From here, you extending the sacrum, taking the tailbone down and in. Breathe. If you don't have space for the chest, if it's difficult for you to breathe here, then a set of bricks gives you a little bit of height to hold Anjaneyasana a little bit more. From here, we're going to come down into Adho Mukha Svanasana. So Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. From Adho Mukha Svanasana, you're resting. And then stepping forward, come back to Tadasana. So step your feet forward, step your hands back, whichever is easiest for you, come to Tadasana. Standing in Tadasana, make sure you've got space, so you may step forward to the front of your mat. And then you work your way to the lunge with the left leg back. So step the left leg back, stretch the front of that left leg, place the left knee on the floor. Remember, you can take a blanket if you need it. This shin is the foot of the pose. Don't let all the weight dump on the knee. Press into the ankle. Keep that knee on the floor, but not crashing into the floor. And if you have a tendency to turn the back foot, you want to keep that extension through the inner line of the back foot, keeping the buttocks grounded. Take your hands onto your knees. This is a nice way of transitioning into Anjaneyasana. Make sure the back waist stays long. You're tucking the tailbone down and in, and you're lifting the root of the right thigh up. If you're able to, take the arms over your head. Don't do it if you have blood pressure issues or if you're pregnant. So this is good preparation for Virabhadrasana I. You can see you developing strength in the legs, that extension in the side body and the arms. And the front foot, don't grip the toes, you're into the heel. Exhale, come down with the arms. Always just try to keep your breath natural and normal. Come back to downward facing dog to release. And then you're going to just walk the hands back, walk the feet forward, just work your way back to Ardha Uttanasana. Coming to Tadasana, and just be in Tadasana for a few breaths. So as a beginner, that might be the best way for you to work into it. Stepping backwards and forwards into the lunge from downward facing dog is a little bit more challenging. So coming to the front of the mat, get nice length of the side body and lift of the chest by taking the arms up. From Urdhva Hastasana, exhale, come down, step the right foot back, step the left foot back, go to downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, you want to open up from the center hamstring, open to the buttock, open to the knee. Keep the quadricep, the muscles of the front thigh strong. And from the front thigh, the root of the front thigh, you're moving back. As you move the root of the front thigh back, you're getting length in the sides of the body. Now you want to come forward into a lunge. So you have to use the exhalation to get momentum and bring that right foot forward. Many people cannot get the foot right in front by next to the hands. So if you're like me, if you have a hip injury or a shoulder injury, and from downward facing dog, you're still trying to get forward, you can use your hand and help that foot forward. That really isn't an issue. So with this nice big lunge, you can work strongly by keeping the thigh up, stretch into the quadricep of that back leg, take the knee to the floor, turn the toes under, and lift up into Anjaneyasana. Great preparation for splits for the back leg. And then bringing the hands onto the knee just to rest for a moment. This is also a great pose to work Virabhadrasana. So you can hook your left elbow onto the outer right knee and take the right hand into the back waist and just come to a twist. Make a robot stop sign with this front arm. Bring that left chest forward. Roll the right side of the chest back. Great preparation for Virabhadrasana. Release back to the lunge, come back to downward facing dog. So again, rest in downward dog. When you want to come to the lunge, it's mobility in the hips, it's strength in the abdomen, strength in the arms, it's all those things. Exhale, step the left leg forward, stretch the back leg, take the knee down, turn the toes under, and then take the arms up overhead. It is a little bit of a back bend, so you can look up the crescent moon. You make that lovely crescent moon shape. Take the arms behind the ears if you can. Don't forget to breathe. Lift the chest. Exhale, bring the hands onto the knees to rest. From here, take a twist, just in preparation for Utkatasana. This isn't obviously the full pose, but a really nice way to begin to practice it is from Anjaneyasana. Coming back to the lunge, step back to Adho Mukha Svanasana, and then coming to Adho Mukha Virasana to rest. Toes together, knees are apart. You rest the buttocks down. You quieten the groins. You rest the arms now. So to rest the arms, let the elbows and the forearms be on the floor. Back of the neck is long. Just take a few breaths here. So yes, very useful pose, many benefits. Anjaneyasana. Enjoy practicing it, and thanks for joining us. Thank you, Liz.